What's going on, everybody? I'm Terrence, and this is Bank Shipping. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopefully everybody's having a good morning so far. If you ain't up, like I always say, go ahead and get up, start that grind. Y'all gonna have to bear with me because somehow, some way, I lost my voice over the weekend, so struggling to talk a little bit. But that's all right. Still gonna push this video out for y'all. But it is Monday morning. I know everybody hates Monday. I myself didn't want to get up. It was a nice cold morning this morning and just wanted to stay in the bed. But got up because there's money to be made. So we are here in Alexandria at the Ram Tool. I come here all the time, but this time they're a lot busier than normal. Normally I'm either the only truck that's unloading or I gotta wait for one to get out the way, but this morning there's like 3 trucks here in front of me, so we're gonna wait. Hopefully it ain't too long, so but if so, that's part of the game. But yeah, so I'm gonna get back to y'all once we start unstrapping and unloading. made it back to the yard. Still haven't really found my voice, but it is what it is. Dropped off in Alexandria, dropped off that insulation. Then I have a load that needs to pick up in Greensboro tomorrow. It's the same load that I took down last month when my truck broke down coming back. That same load that I took down, I now have to go back and pick it up and bring it back home. So I have a load that is going right to Greensboro. It was a 3-pick, 1 drop. It's just these, try not to get the sun in y'all's eyes. It's just these construction barriers, water barriers. You know, you fill them up with water, set them along the road or any other site or whatever. I got like, I think I have like 60 of them, something like that. But they're light, you know, they're just plastic barrels. They weigh like little over 8,000 pounds total. You know, and it's a nice low load. They're stacked too high, and then I have one bundle on the top deck. But I picked them up in Baltimore, and then Hyattsville, Maryland, and then Manassas, Virginia. So I didn't really film the pickups because I was trying to bust my butt to get to all 3 stops today. You know, this doesn't have to deliver until Wednesday, but they said I could deliver tomorrow because I got to pick up that other load tomorrow. So I was really trying to bust my butt so I could get them all picked up today so that I could get down to Greensboro tomorrow. You know, they were like, oh, well, you know, if you don't get to the last stop, you know, you can pick that up tomorrow as long as they're delivered by Wednesday. And I was like, no. Y'all don't know how I work. I'm going to get all these today so I can drop them off tomorrow. I don't have time to be wasting. So we bought it right, you know, we got right down to the wire. I think the last stop in Manassas, they stopped receiving or stopped shipping at 3:30, and I got there at like 3:17. You know, so, and I got 20 of those there, 20 of the barrels there. So I got it done. So I'm gonna call it a day, go drink some tea or something. I don't know, whatever helps this whole thing going on. I was kind of like battling a sinus infection last week, you know, towards the end of last week, and then over the weekend, my son's football game, you know, I was yelling because now I'm coaching as well. So I was yelling and everything like that. So it just played hell on my voice. But yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see y'all in the morning. So I hit it early this morning. Got down here to Kernersville, North Carolina. The load was supposed to originally go to the branch of United Rentals down in Greensboro. But yesterday afternoon, after I picked all 3 stops up, they called and asked me if I could just bring it directly to the site, which was in Kernersville. So I said, yeah, no problem. Actually works out a little better because instead of being 40 minutes from my pickup, I'm now 25. So it worked out in my favor. So getting unloaded right now. We're at like a FedEx distribution center. I guess they're expanding the parking lot or something like that. So that's where these barriers are going to. So I already got all my straps taken off and rolled up, just waiting for them to finish unloading me, and then we'll head to our next pickup. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. a lot longer than I expected. Had plenty of time to get down, get unloaded, get reloaded, and get back. But on my way back, since I had plenty of time, my truck was filthy, it's been driving me nuts. So I was like, oh, I'll stop at the truck wash. Well, stopped at the truck wash, got her cleaned up, and then when I left, I hit traffic. So that put me behind more than I thought. So, but I was close to home when I got the truck wash, so I was like, there's no point in staying out when I can just be home. So I ran with it. So we are back. This load drops in the morning right here in Winchester. So I'm gonna go give me a little bit of shut eye. I'll catch back up with y'all in the morning. Good morning, good morning. I got that load dropped off that I picked up in North Carolina yesterday. Dropped that this morning. It was an easy unload. It wasn't a very big thing. So, you know, untarp, unstrap, all that good stuff. Got unloaded, and now I'm back at the yard. So right now we are done for the day because I gotta go get a DOT physical. Fun times. But I gotta knock it out the way before the end of the month. So I figured, where I was delivering right here in Winchester, I might as well drop my load, go get my DOT physical, and then if I got more work later on the day, moving some trailers and stuff, I'll do so. So that's what we're about to go do. But before I got off here, I wanted to talk to y'all real quick about brokers. I see a lot of stuff on social media, YouTube, Facebook, all that good stuff, about brokers and how brokers are trash, you know, how they rob truckers and all that. So I'm gonna agree to a point. And the reason I agree to a point is because not all brokers are trash. I'm not a broker, so I'm not just automatically going to be on their side. There are a lot of brokers out here that are just complete trash. You know, they want to take 50% or more of the load, you know, and cut it down before they give it to the trucker. But there are some brokers who are not like that. You know, so if you're looking to get into this industry or you're in this industry, you know, find you some brokers who are reliable and make good business relationships with them. You know, everybody always talks about get direct customers, get direct customers, get direct customers. Yes, direct customers are lovely, but brokers aren't going anywhere. And some of these bigger companies, they don't have the time nor want to deal with the headache of dealing with trucking companies or owner operators separately or on their own. So they broker these things out. That's why brokers are here in the first place. You know, there are a couple of places that I run in that I would love to be a direct customer, but they work with brokers, so no direct customers. No matter how good I do, no matter how much I ask, they will not go direct because their corporation does not want to deal with truckers directly. And why just deal with one trucker directly and everybody else brokers? You know, so it doesn't make sense for them. So that's why they go with brokers. So some of these corporations out here that only deal with brokers to get their loads moved, make a relationship with those brokers. Prime example, the load that I took down to North Carolina, 3 pickups, 1 drop. Baltimore, Hyattsville, Maryland, and Manassas, Virginia were my pickups, dropped off in Kernersville, North Carolina. Now, this broker that had this load is a broker that I work a lot with. So when I saw the load, I called, and it wasn't the normal dispatcher that I work with out of that brokerage. So I called him and asked him, hey, is this your load? He said, no, it's another guy's load, but he works in the same office. He's a good guy. Give him a call, tell him I sent you. Good deal. So I give him a call. You know, he tells me about the load. He asks me what I can do it for. So I'm sitting there calculating the mileage and the 3 stops and the fuel and all that stuff, and I give him my rate. Now, loads are up and down right now, you know, as far as how plenty they are. You know, some weeks, some days, it's a crap ton of loads. Some days it's not. Now, I was looking to go to North Carolina because I had this load to pick up. So a lot of my normal, I really don't run to North Carolina. So I was kind of out of the element trying to find something that went down there. So when I called the guy, I gave him my rate, and it was a competitive rate. Of course, things for me are cheaper going south than they are north, like normal. That's why normally I run north. So I gave him my rate, right? And this guy tells me, all right, well, that's a good rate. I think I might be able to do better. He said, let me call my customer and I'll get right back to you. I said, okay. Now, I didn't take much off of what my normal rate is. If anything, I don't think I took anything off, to be honest with you. I didn't shoot for the stars, but, I gave him a competitive rate. That way I could get the load so I could go down there. Now, it wasn't below $2 a mile. It wasn't below $3 a mile. But I had multiple pickups and stuff like that. So he calls me back and says, hey, we're a go for the load. This was like 5 minutes goes by. He says, we're a go for the load. This is what I got you. And it was a couple $100 more than what I quoted him. Now, because of the bond that I have made with that brokerage, not that dispatcher, but that brokerage, my name is out there with that brokerage and one of the bigger guys in that brokerage. So they gave me a better rate than I even asked for. Can't beat that. So that's why I suggest finding you a couple brokers. If you're running the same lanes all the time, find you some brokers who got some good freight in those lanes and who are going to treat you good. Form a business relationship with them, and when you do it, shoot high. See, because I'm not telling y'all what to do, but just in my opinion and some guidance and some things that I've done along the way, I always shoot high. I always give them my high rate when I first work with the broker. If it's my first time, I shoot a high rate. That way they know I ain't cheap. That way they know they ain't going to get over on me. And then if that business relationship continues to grow, they continue to help you out. They'll shoot loads your way and they'll give you good rates. So if you go into it with the mindset of all brokers are trash, they might continue to give you trash rates. Now, I'm not saying that you might go into it thinking this broker is good, is reliable, and they be trash, because that very well can happen. It happens a lot because like I said, there are a lot of brokers that are trash. But brokers aren't going anywhere. So in order to get some competitive rates, start forming a bond with some of those good brokers and only work with them. See, the thing is, brokers need to move loads in order to make money. So if those brokers are trash and you stop taking loads from the trash brokers and only take loads from the good brokers who offer you competitive rates, those trash brokers will cease to exist. But the only problem we have is most people still take those trash loads. So not all of them will ever go away. It's not like all trash brokers are ever going away. In my experience, most of the trash brokers are the bigger brokerages. You work with some of these smaller brokerages and stuff, they normally give you some competitive rates. You work with them big brokerages like, heck, even Landstar sometimes. I don't personally work with Landstar just because I see what they do. I've ran a couple loads for them in the past, and then I was like, you know what? When I see you guys posting loads for half the rate of what somebody else posted it for, nah, we ain't playing that game. But like I said, there are trash brokers and there are some really good brokers out there. So find you some of the good brokers, form a good working relationship with them. Now, don't let them run over you. Form a good working relationship where it's a two-way street, not a one-way. And I promise you, they'll start giving you some competitive rates if you do good work. This isn't the first time that I've worked with a certain broker, and not just only this broker, but this isn't the first time that I've worked with a broker where I gave a rate and they've actually given me more money than what I originally asked for because of the work that I do. So your work shows a lot. But just keep in mind that brokers aren't going anywhere. No matter how much we cry, none of that. brokers are here to stay. Now, I wish that we could have some more transparency with brokers. I wish that we could see what the customer is willing to pay to move that load before we negotiate on a rate. But that's just not the way things are. Now, you get a relationship with some of these brokers. Some of these brokers I got that I've been working with for years, and I trust them. Some of them are telling me straight up when I call them, hey, what you got in it? Because they know that I know that they got to eat too. So when they tell me what they got in it, we work off of that. If I can't work with it, they say no problem. They'll find somebody else. But if we can work, then I take the load. So it's all about forming those business relationships, not letting them run over you, and letting your work prove your worth. All right. So I just wanted to give y'all that little tip before I get out of here. But everybody have a great race. I can't talk. Everybody have a great rest of the week. Hope everybody's business is prosperous and flourishing in some of these hard times. And as always, stay prayed up, grind hard, and stay humble.